your theory, your theory, your theory, your theory, your theory, your theory. Hit me. Your theory, your theory, your theory, your theory, your theory. Hit me. Your theory, your theory, your theory, your theory, your theory. Hit me. Your theory, your theory, your theory.
We're here with Mr. Corwin Scott, president of the Evergreen Tacoma Law Club. Now, Mr. Scott, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the law club and a little bit about the famous expungement clinic?
Well, my name is Corwin Scott, and I'm a junior here at the Evergreen State College. I'm actually going to graduate very soon. I'm a pre-law student. The expungement clinic was created because a lot of the students here who are pre-law students could not find an internship opportunity. So when we couldn't find something, we made an opportunity. We have partnered with the Volunteer Legal Services, who provides attorneys from the Pierce County Bar Association, who come out once a month to assist us in vacation, sealing, or expungement of records. We also hold office hours, which is just the students acting as paralegals, which we are. We help to type up court motions, and we have now started to fill out, or actually to assist in filling out clemency paperwork for people who have crimes or convictions that cannot be sealed or vacated. The clemency is a last-ditch effort to help someone to maintain control or to gain control of their lives. We are doing we are helping as many people as we can. We have a few success stories so far where people have gone down to the Pierce County court and they've had their rights restored. So, in closing, the expungement clinic is a worthwhile effort. All of the members, George Hoyt, Cheryl Bay, Teresa Brown Henderson, Linda Black, and a few others are very dedicated and have worked very hard and diligently to make sure that people receive proper services and people have been helped. We look forward to working with new clients in the future and also partnering with any other organization in the area to help as many people in our community as we can. Thank you very much, Africa.
What number can they call, can people in the community call if they want to be involved with the expungement clinic and have their records expunged, sealed, or destroyed?
Please call me. My name is Corwin Scott. My telephone number is 253-202-3855. From 12 to 12, 24 hours a day. Please feel free to call at any time. I will be more than happy to discuss your case with you and set up an appointment for either office hours or for the next clinic.
Thank you, President Corwin Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Frank.
See some ID.
All right, man, chill.
Figures. Library. Oh, George.
Stop. In Washington State, you do not have to provide identification to a law enforcement officer who approaches you on the street. You don't have to give your driver's license or Washington ID card. You don't have to give out your address, date of birth, or even your name. Now, under certain circumstances, like if you're driving a car, it may be a crime not to provide identification. Consult with an attorney to find out whether or not your situation is one of the exceptions. But generally, you do not have to provide identification. And you want to think, before you reach for that wallet, about whether or not this is going to help or hurt the situation. If you ask the cop whether you're under arrest, and he says yes, he's going to get your ID anyway. It may be better to provide it voluntarily, keep the situation calm. But if you are free to leave, he's going to, if you provide your ID, do a warrants check. It's going to be delay, and delay in this situation is not your friend. As always, whenever you interact with law enforcement, you want to be polite and unhelpful. You want to be honest and silent. Do not do or say anything because the cop wants you to. Do or say things only if it benefits you.
What's up? We're here with Vice President of the Tacoma Evergreen Law Club, Miss Cheryl Bay. How you doing, Miss Bay?
I am doing great, Mr. Hoyt. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Why don't you explain to me a little bit about the Tacoma Evergreen Law Club, your position, and what goes on here?
The Evergreen State College Tacoma Law Club is an ongoing club. I don't know how many years there's been one here. However, I became a law club member in 2010, and Warner Campbell was the president. And at that time, we were having an annual, we had some annual things that the law club did. A tenants' rights conference, along with an expungement workshop. This year, under the presidential guidance of Mr. Corwin Scott, our law club has changed the annual expungement workshop into a monthly expungement clinic. The desire of the present law club is to bring hope to the community. And in doing that, we've linked up with volunteer legal services who is in charge of a kind of the lawyers during their volunteer time, have kind of curved those lawyers into our school and on our campus and made themselves available at an appointed time for the community. And the training for this process was done also by some bar attorneys from Pierce County Bar Association. And the number one thing that I like about that training is they gave us to give to the community hope. They told us that there are many things that on paper said that they can't be expunged, can't be sealed, can't be vacated, but they told us that nothing is impossible. And that's what we try to present to the community that's come into Evergreen to be seen and helped at the law clinic that goes on monthly here, is hope. And we've gone to court with different individuals and having their rights restored, having their felonies sealed after 15 and 20 years, after having to work lower than beneath them jobs. They now have a chance to move up in life. They paid their fines, they did their time. They were told if they agreed to, if they pled guilty, their charges would be dismissed, and they weren't. And so the law clinic is an avenue for access to law for people who have no knowledge of what it is they agreed to, and the paperwork looks good to them. We've been blessed to have these attorneys agree to come and assist the public in this way. And we have an excellent group, our club, students that believe in the goals of the Evergreen State College, which are enter to learn and depart to serve, and their willingness to do that on a volunteer basis for the community has been outstanding, and I'm very, very grateful to be a part.
So if someone wants to reach you or reach the Tacoma Evergreen Law Club to set up a time to have their record expunged to speak to an attorney, how can they go about doing that?
They can contact myself by telephone. My number is 253-255-0579.
Thank you very much, Vice President Cheryl of the Tacoma Evergreen Law Club. Thank you for coming on We the Students Television.
Very well. Thank you.
Hey, homie, up against the wall. Turn around, turn around.
Man,
Turn
damn.
around.
Fuck, I ain't even do nothing, man.
Whatever.
I don't got nothing, dude.
What's this?
What's what?
Oh, shit. What the fuck is this?
Stop. You do not have to consent to a search. Law enforcement asks you if they can search you. You ought to tell them, I do not consent to a search. If they ask you if they can come in your home and search, you should always request to see a search warrant and indicate to them that you are not consenting to a search. They may search anyway. If that happens to you, bear in mind that resisting a police officer can get you hurt and can lead to felony charges. Again, your default position needs to be, I do not consent to a search, I'd like to see a search warrant, and I'm not resisting anything. You need to preserve your rights. If you allow an officer to search you by saying something like, it's okay if you search, I have nothing to hide, go ahead and search, then the officer always has authority to search. And police are very good at finding things and making them look incriminating later on.
Let me help you. Where'd you get the weed from?
Hey, man, ain't even my jacket, dude. I don't know where that came from. It's my homeboy's jacket, dude. We were just out the street, man. I lost my coat. You let me, yo, man, for real. For real, I don't know where it came from, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you could have my...
Stop. Shut the fuck up. You do not have to answer questions, and you shouldn't. Especially after you've been read your Miranda rights. Because if you've been read your Miranda rights, that means you are under arrest. You are not talking your way out of anything. And everything you say is going to get twisted by the cops and used against you later. Your silence cannot be legally twisted to mean anything. There is no benefit for you talking, and it's only going to hurt you. So don't say anything. When a cop asks you questions, you say, I do not want to speak to you. I do not want to answer questions. I want to remain silent, and I want a lawyer. As always, whenever you interact with law enforcement, you want to be polite and unhelpful. You want to be honest, and you want to be silent. Don't say or do anything just because a cop asks you to, say or do something because it benefits you.
Who's going to present the Liberty Bell Awards to the non-lawyer recipient. And this year, as you'll become apparent in a moment, we decided to give 2 awards out to non-lawyers. So here's Evan.
Pardon my lingering cough. Hopefully I won't cough too much up here, but I was a bit sick the last week, so hopefully that doesn't come up today. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pride to be here today as a representative of the Pierce County Bar Association and the Young Lawyers Section, and to present this year's award, the Liberty Bell Award, to our co-non-lawyer recipients. As we've mentioned at this lunch today, this year's Law Day theme is the legacy of John Adams from Boston to Guantanamo, with the idea of celebrating both lawyers and non-lawyers who represent the accused, even when doing so may not be the most popular decision. In light of this theme, it is particularly appropriate that our co-non-lawyer honorees have spent the last 6 months developing and growing a volunteer legal clinic in Pierce County designed to help individuals expunge the criminal records of individuals who cannot afford legal services. Today, expungement is particularly important to the qualified individuals because of the advancement in technology that have made public records more available and accessible to potential employers and landlords. With the job and rental housing markets being as competitive as they are, a minor conviction in someone's distant past should not impact their current employability and housing options. The Expungement Clinic seeks to help those qualified individuals take the final step in the criminal rehabilitation process and move on with their lives. Since its inception in December 2010, the Volunteer Legal Services Expungement Clinic has assisted 115 individuals in expunging their record, and yet has an unending list of future clients. I promised I would give a plug today for Volunteer Legal Services Expungement Clinic. So for those of you who are looking for volunteer options and an opportunity to use your legal skills, please consider volunteering with Volunteer Legal Services and the Expungement Clinic, as there is an insatiable demand for legal services for those who can't afford it in our community. Now on to our co-recipients. Our first co-recipient is Linda Black. Linda Black's involvement in the legal profession is a second career for her. She has an associate's degree in business management from TCC and initially worked for a number of years as a loan officer. When she decided that that wasn't for her, went back to school at TCC to obtain a paralegal's degree. During school, she interned at Northwest Justice Project and then was hired on full-time after graduating to the Pierce County Volunteer Legal Services, where she's been for the last 2 years. She is exceptionally passionate about working with clients, and she made that very clear to me when we spoke. And she enjoys investigating the facts involving the clients. Her responsibilities at Volunteer Legal Services include recruiting volunteer attorneys. So for those of you who are interested, give your business cards to Linda before you leave. And also screening potential clients to determine what appropriate clinic is available for their needs. Our other co-recipient is Corwin Black. and he is currently pursuing his bachelor's degree in liberal arts with an emphasis in law at Evergreen State College.
That's Corwin Scott.
Scott! I'm glad Corwin Scott. Yes, I apologize. Corwin Scott, thank you very much. He is currently the president of the law club and is scheduled to graduate in June this year. Afterwards, he plans to continue his education and ultimately attend law school and obtain a law degree. He's the proud father of 3 and is born and raised in Tacoma. The genesis of the expungement clinic is the after-school parking lot at Evergreen State College, where Linda and Corwin would discuss the needs in our community and available resources at their disposal. Corwin was able to mobilize the available resources at Evergreen with the support of the college's director, including the facilities, student interns, and the technology to support the clinic. Linda was able to bring in, with the support of Volunteer Legal Services and Lori Davenport, legal manpower, and some grant money to help get this clinic up and running. With those pieces in place, they have been able to establish a monthly clinic and a resource center staffed by students at Evergreen State College. With their relentless commitment to helping our community, they truly encompass what we are here to celebrate today. Please help me congratulating the 2011 non-lawyer recipients of the Liberty Bell Award, Linda Black and Corwin Scott. I'll invite them to make a few comments if they would like.
You know, it's been so exciting how successful the clinics have been and all the great people that have helped us. The students in the law club that facilitate the clinics. We have 20 attorneys that have actively participated. Some of them are here. And it's just been great because of all the people. And I guess Corwin and I kind of forgot about those meetings after class in the parking lot in the rain when this was all a dream, and we kind of forgot about our part. So thank you for remembering us for it.
Well, I would like to say thank you for recognizing Ms. Black and I. A long way in a very short time. We've done a lot of work together. I also would like to recognize the Evergreen State College for giving us the opportunity to put together the clinic. I first would like to say thank you to Dr. R.T. Young, to attorney Barbara Laners, to my mother Kitty Scott, and my father Elwood Scott, to the people who have been in the trenches in the office hours and in every clinic. Mr. George Hoyt, who's holding the camera, to Teresa Henderson Brown, and to Mrs. Cheryl Bay. I also would like to thank the fellow students, and I also would like to thank the attorneys for coming out each and every clinic. It's because of you that I'm standing here today. And also to Ms. Davenport as well. She's been my hero. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Your theory, your theory, your theory, your theory, your theory, your theory. Hit me. Your theory, your theory, your theory, your theory, your theory. Hit me. Your theory, your theory, your theory, your theory, your theory.
morning, and then both of us will be back this afternoon after lunch for you to get your results and more information about the LSAT and the law school admissions process and how all of that works. So we're going to be doing all of that today. In other words, Jessica will be here with you all day today. Before we get started with the formal instructions for the exam, some things that you should know. We're about to complete a 5-section, full-length LSAT exam. So we're going to do all of the multiple choice sections. The exam that you're going to take differs from test day in that we are not going to complete a writing sample today. That is always the last section of the exam, it's section 6, and it is unscored. And Cleo has asked us not to administer the writing sample today, so it won't be scored. We're happy to comply with that. It makes your time a little bit shorter on the exam. So we're going to complete the 5 multiple choice sections today. The test you're going to take today is Prep Test 36. This is the December 2001 LSAT exam. So this is approximate, or next to, the best LSAT exam, Prep Test 35. Anybody know why that one's the best? For a totally personal reason. It is right after 9/11, that's true. The most closely administered. That was my LSAT. The one that I took. So that one's my favorite. It got me into law school at the University of Michigan. So you're going to be doing Prep Test 36. It's pretty good, but not the best. So you'll complete that exam today. We're going to, while you're having lunch, we are going to score the exams for you, so you're going to get your results back right after the test today. Some strategic things for you to know. The test booklets are for you to keep. So you're going to take that with you, and that also means, just like on test day, you get to write in the test booklet while you take the exam. So you should feel free to write all over that. You're going to take that with you. The only thing we're going to take from you is your grid so that we can get that scanned. So everything else is for you to keep. Another strategic point, some of you may or may not know, but on the LSAT, there is no penalty for wrong answers. So if you don't know the answer to a question, or if you're short on time, it is in your best interest for your score simply to guess. You can't lose points for wrong answers on this exam, unlike, notoriously, the SAT, where there's a penalty for wrong answers. This test does not work that way. So if you don't know, or if you're short on time, it's better to guess than to leave it blank, because you can't lose points on the exam. You can only fail to gain them. So those are a couple strategic points for you to know. I have some formal proctoring instructions that we're going to read through, talk about the structure of the exam and how all of that works. Any general questions about the 3 hours and 10 minutes of fun time that we're about to have before we get going? Yes, sir. What's that? Presumably. Only if you'd be looking at somebody else's booklets. If you have their permission, then you can probably form a small cattle, probably, to your heart's content. Yeah. However that works for you. What I would recommend is that you treat the exam as best of a testing simulation as you can, because I think that'll help everybody else get as much out of the exam as they can. So, that said, I'm going to go ahead and start the formal proctoring instructions. And the one thing that you do need to know that I'll read to you again, but that's important, is that on LSAT test day, you can't have any food or anything else with you. Again, today, like as Linda suggested earlier, I'm not particularly concerned about that, but on test day, they would be really picky about that. So you couldn't have any coffee or water or anything else with you. Today, I don't care. Just be careful not to spill it on your grid, because that will make it very difficult to scan if it's wet. So that's my only concern. Yes, sir.
Does any of this information be passed on to any other organizations other than CAPL and Cleo?
No. So Cleo is one of our national partners. We do this event with them everywhere that they organize it around the country. So this information doesn't go to anybody else. Yeah. True story. Thank you for asking. Yeah. Those entities, you're usually talking about something that is based on that whole some versus most. For example, some means one or more. Most means what? Majority. That's correct. And the LSAT will test you on your ability to recognize the difference between some and most.
Can versus must. Can means it possible. Must means has to. That's the kind of thing we want that you want to train yourself to notice. Okay? The LSAT loves those kinds of words. Okay? And I guess I love the LSAT, so therefore I love those kinds of words. I guess that's how you get formal logic that. Okay. So anyway, so let's look at one more example for number 5 and use our method again. We wouldn't use this because this is our previous work. So let's go ahead and redraw our list of entities. And let's take a look here at our if then. If watermelons. So yes on watermelons. Great. What does that mean? We have to have what? Figs or tangerines or both. So we have to have at least one of figs or tangerines. Okay? Kind of a loose rule. We don't have really any certainties. We can't circle anything else. But we know we have to at least have one. Of figs and tangerines. Right? Everything else still would be the same rules, and we're not sure about. Okay? So let's take a look at must be false. The stand does not carry figs. Does the stand have to carry figs in this case? No, because it has to carry at least one. So it could carry tangerines and not figs. Same thing with B. The stand does not carry tangerines. That's not a must be false because, again, it could be at least one. Okay, everybody cool so far?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, the stand does not carry pears. Do we see that as being necessary? No? Okay. So that doesn't seem to help. The stand carries pears, but not oranges. Where would we want to make sure to go here? We want to go back to what?
Chart.
Yeah, to our chart, exactly. So yes on pears and no on oranges. Is that okay? Can you be in New York but not in Manhattan? Is that okay? Yeah. Yes. Excellent. Okay. The stand carries pears but not tangerines. Uh-oh. Is that a problem? Yes on pears would mean what? No. Yes on tangerines. So do we have our must be false? We do. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. The stand does not carry pears. Well, here's the thing. If it didn't carry pears for sure, then we would have been given a rule that completely eliminates pears. So, for example, we would have pears X'd out here if we did that. Since all we're doing is yes on watermelons, pears aren't affected. So they are possible, but not definite. So we can't say it must be false if you don't carry pears. It could be true. Okay? All right. Any other questions?
I guess building off that, is it because you have watermelon, and we know, like, sometimes if you have watermelon, you may have oranges, which means you may have pears too, or
it's a little bit, it's more just a matter of you don't want to overanalyze the remainder of the sketch, the part that's not being affected. The only thing that we can say is true on the basis of watermelons is one of these. At least one of these. That's all we can say is true. So the thing is that yes on watermelons does not affect oranges, because oranges still could exist, because we saw last time no on watermelons meant no on oranges. Yes on watermelons means maybe oranges. So the fact that you have all these maybes is the kind of thing that you want to look at maybes, but you're looking for a must-be, right? So you have all these maybes, and you're looking for a must-be. Maybes are not a must-be. So that's why E would be correct, because E directly contradicts your sketch. It says yes on pears, no on tangerines. Can't do it. Okay? But all the rest of them are possible. And what we want to learn to do is not have to go into all of the possibilities, but then just basically say, well, I don't have for certain on this. In my list, I have not crossed out pears, I have not circled oranges, so all of those things are still possible.
I have two.
Sure.
The first one is, for the E, didn't we do that, the converse thing, where it's like no tangerines, we have kiwis, so then it wouldn't really contradict our sketch, because then we still have...
Well, here's the thing. It said, has pears, but not tangerines. Okay? Yes on pears means what? No on kiwis, yes on tangerines. That's why it contradicts it.
So then why don't we write that right there? Is the question asking what must be false?
Yeah, what must be false? So I'm not sure what I mean. What was your question?
Well, we did see what we did before we even drew the rules. We did we did the second rule, which was no kiwi, no tangerines.
Sure.
So right there it says no tangerines, and we have kiwis. So it says we have no tangerines.
So okay, so here's the thing though that we want to actually be concerned with. On answer choice E, it says the stand carries pairs. Yes, pairs, according to that, right? Answer choice E, yes, pairs. So what we want to do is use our chart to see what yes pairs tells us. Yes on pairs tells us no on kiwis, tells us yes on tangerines.
Oh, I see. So you don't want to go back to the old...
No. The reason why this is good to focus on is because if we try to link everything every time we had an answer choice like this, that'd be a lot of extra work. We already have them linked up. We can say yes on pairs means everything to the right. Then we know that yes on pairs and no on tangerines is not possible based on our stats.
Logic.